Alright, and here we are with the Spooktober 2021 YTC. We have Impy, who has been here for about 2 years now. He gets veteran status. And he's playing Dragon Rulers, because he's already got his ticket to champs, so he's probably just playing one of his most fun decks. And then we have X6, a repeated repeated finals placement back-to-back actually. Using the same build as last time, probably with a few changes here and there. It's the Witchcrafters, Shadows, and Neos fusion deck. Hopefully we should be able to see some Neos plays this time around. And we don't get sacked too hard by our own RNG and drawing Neos in the opener. Let's see how we start. X6 going first. Starting with basically polymerization, except you're forced to use a spellcaster. And that's a construct. Alright, off to a way better start than what we had during this September YTC. And it looks like we're setting up a gravity controller as well. Nice. It's honestly a really good start between beast and construct and being okay. Not once per turn, by the way. What are we sending, Hog? Skomata. It's kind of excessive unless we're setting up some kind of pop play, but just the Hog probably would have been better. I think you keep the Skomata just in case you have Armageddon Knight in the deck. It's really good. Managed to get the 3 summons, cheat out a 4th set the rush. Here we are with the Dragon Rulers. Shoutouts to Moto. Starting with looks like the burner here. God forbid he uses Blaster to pop a card. Getting a second copy of the Blaster from deck. Probably a good idea to play 2 of every Dragon Ruler just so that Dragon Ruler searches Dragon Ruler and you can play the Baby Rulers to summon more Dragon Rulers. God, are they obnoxious. Since one can attack, we're just going to go into a rank 7. Snatch. You know, since the Wendy was searched, probably wouldn't make Big Eye, right? No, you don't get too much value because the rush is there, but in stealing construct, like, yeah, he's forced out his own construct, but sending us Shadow Dragon pops the premature burial anyway. And because we do have the Windy and the Rush, we're able to rush this turn. Get like a Dragon or the Skomata. Pop her and yeah, we could just bounce her in Construct or anything, so. Not too sure I agree with the Big Eye player. Definitely were some better options, if assuming he's on them. Like just a Draco Sack or even, I don't know, rank 7's not too good. Harmonizer Greedy Out probably would have been pretty good here since the quick effect can snatch up the rush target because it does target on activation. But again, we would have to clear the construct and that would require getting a light. The effect veiler, yeah, definitely an option. So we're going to use construct to clear the gravity controller, not play into the Windy, but because we only had 1 attack, our opponent is going to start with 2 monsters at the start of their turn. Picking up a beast. Draw 2, discard 1. It's always the Neos. That guy's bricky as all heck. Were you flipping the Wendy? We are flipping the Wendy. So this was correctly read as a Wendy. I think Impy did evaluate that, but probably didn't really, I want to say punish it as much, because while there's not as much agency on you regarding the Windy, letting them keep the monster is still really bad for you on their own turn, especially with Rush in the graveyard. I'm not going to use it here at the Falco, hopefully, unless they're playing Synchros. The Guinea, that's pretty good. That's a really good one. And we've got the holiday setup. Welcome to Schrodinger's Heine. As long as we keep the holiday in hand, Heine's basically always going to come back. We can always just sit on her pop. Pop. Ooh, sending the L. That's gonna it's gonna grab it right back to hand. Because we have 2 shadow monsters of different types. That's the Abkalone play as well on the follow-up. This is a really strong position and a good showcase of the deck's ability to generate advantage. Haven't really got to the Neos fusion part, basically being Shadow Fusion, but it's just showing the premier cards in it. Going to early pop the Big Eye. Maybe a good idea, maybe not. So the caveat here is if we don't pop the Big Eye early, Impy's most likely going to grab the Heine because it's a pseudo-trident. But popping either of these monsters is awful, right? Because they're both dolls. So since this can't attack, we still will have all 3 summons, so we'll probably try to attack everything, but not too sure. This will force a card out of Impy's hand and force him to most likely use it as a rank 7, but we still have the Abkalone, at least in the back pocket. This is going to summon from deck, this is going to draw us a card. Abkalone is going to negate something, can't be destroyed by battle, so yeah. We probably could have actually held this. Not too sure. Monster Reborn, targeting construct. Por qué? Do you play dolls as well? Down to 2 dragons. We added a title, I believe. This is kind of unnecessary because this is our first summon for the turn and they have an L and the pseudo trident. Set Rotato, we could have started with the Set Rotato. Alright, Dragon Ravine. Okay, on flip we're going to chain this Abkalone, negate the Dragon Ravine, set the Dragon. And yeah, this Monster Reborn on Construct is coming back to bite him. Bit of a misclick there. It's gonna get repaired. There we go. Alright, so we're resummoning the Blaster. No, this kind of does bring up the point I was mentioning before as to why not just you save the Monster Reborn because it's a really ridiculously good card. You, assuming you either, because this is a turn that she set up in the previous turn, banish the title, add another title, or you banish the title, add, you can banish the Blaster, summon the title on this turn, Blaster, add a Jet Synchron or Flammable Guard, make a level 8 Synchro. It's much better than the construct here. At least in terms of summon limit. Now we have a pop and a bounce. It's pretty good. Setting up a croc draw, a bit from behind, but it's kind of awkward to use because we are hand looping ourselves for 2. So it's gotta count. Alright, we are forcing out the pop on most likely the construct. Oh, croc. Now, at the time, Wenda is currently banned, so L doesn't necessarily do anything here per se, but I don't know. I think popping if you flip the dragon first and you go for the bounce here, you're able to pop here. But maybe they're on more lights. I know we're on Nias for sure, but I don't know. Croc Dragon's not going to activate. Alright, fair enough. Don't want to handle Loop ourselves for 2. Again, he's going to Holiday from the graveyard. And he's going to Trident our own construct. There's the Buy Street as well. That was part of the pseudo lock that Vera used to set up. It's really ridiculously strong. And unfortunately is banned for this event, but as you can see here, this was like way too far ahead for X6. MP didn't really have a chance of coming back with no dragons. Yeah, I think the first couple of turns were executed poorly, especially with the Monster Reborn, but we'll see how he turns this around. Dragon Rulers do have a pretty good guard game. Shuttles too. Witchcrafter not so much. We'll see. And Sacred Sword of Allure of Darkness. Really good card with Dragon Rulers. It says draw 2 cards and search another one. It's pretty good. Remus, we're gonna pick up a Ravine. Ravine, most likely send an Absoluter. Yep. Pick up Rocket Synchron. And since we are locked in darks, I can't make a Mega anything. So it's most likely gonna be Chaos Ruler. Now, this is probably going to dig for hand traps more than it is going to try to fuel the graveyard, I imagine. Stealing graveyard's fine and all, but as long as we have Ravine, this is, like, that's just an added bonus. Digging for hand traps probably comes up a lot more here, because you do want to stop their advantage from snowballing. So if we can pick up a lighter Dockyard Trap. Well, there's a lighter Dockyard Trap, it's just on the other side. Set 3. Okay. So if your deck's able to set 3, assuming they all aren't buddy force. I don't know. Not too sure. Playing 2 of every Dragon Ruler, maybe it does outweigh the fact that you do play good back row. Maybe. Oh, and here's one of the premier counters to Witchcrafter. Called by the Grave. That is a death sentence. Is your normal summon and you hand looped yourself. Yeah. So until we get Patronus, that guinea is gone. Gonna Ravine here, most likely send a Dragon Ruler. Dragon Ruler. Summon the Blaster. Are we setting up another synchro? Oh no. Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. Oh dear. Yeah, that is a good luck, have fun. Ooh. Opponent declares a direct attack. You can special summon this card from your hand. Accurate damage calculation. Destroy. If this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, add a Predip. Interesting. Well, since this is the only thing we're probably playing into, we're just gonna hot red. Negate it on field because this is after damage calculation, rather than at the end of the damage step. But then again, that wouldn't matter as well. It has to be sent to the graveyard, so that's just destroyed. We'll still grab the Predipont card, but because this is Trinity format, committing to that Orphoscopio for your normal summon after any normal summon being interrupted probably does not bode well for your follow-up turn. MP can play this any kind of way he wants to. Since this still is Trinity, I'd probably let them commit a little bit more to summons, just because Hot Red is insane, and I don't think there's any level rank 3 that can do it, or rank 2 that can do it, honestly. We're just gonna negate that anyway. Soul Release. It's pretty god-awful against Dragon Rulers, but hopefully there wasn't a Dragon Ruler there. It does get rid of the Chaos Ruler, but we didn't have a light to begin with, so I don't think they care too much. Did shut us out of a grind game a bit, but, you know. Negate any face-up cards. Pretty good. Pretty actually ridiculous. But back-to-back Nordal summons getting stopped instantly. It's a really bad sign. Oh, MP. flexing the red rain and the forbidden droplet, saying that you just didn't stand a chance no matter what you did. Dear. And the tracer. Desires. We still have a game 3 to play. Alright. Moving on to the finale of the Spooktober YTC. Honestly, this seems like it could go either way, just from how they've been playing, and we're still on the Magician of Prophecy. Oh no, 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 no. Going by how the last two normal summons were really important to have, I don't know. Hopefully we got some good back row to set up. 3. It's spooky. It was spooky. And we have that Observator pitch. That is a blowout. Trying to shuffle back the Magician. Probably grab Creation here to get at least our Witchcraft online. I'm gonna lose a pinpoint. Okay. So we probably didn't use it for Epcalone because we didn't want to risk MP summoning something. Fear the hot red. Alright, Observator gets ashed. So this is a difference between what we did in the other game, where we Veilered the Chaos Ruler instead of Veiling the Rocket Synchron. So ashing here prevents us from getting to the Rocket Synchron, but we still have quite a few outlets, I imagine. Between like Dragon Shrine, Foolish Burial, Dragon Ravine, and it looks like we're getting access to Dragon Ravine now, but Maxi's pretty good into Dragon Lures. Let's see if MP just stops here, because his opponent's extremely far behind. We only have a creation to our names. Gonna just set up with the Dragon Ravine. It's not too bad, we're on Dragon Lures, but because we're pretty scarce on the dragons, yeah, just sets them up. Set up the why are we activating it? We're under Maxi. Oh dear. Okay, we've drawn 2 cards. I guess we're getting a search with the Blaster. It better be worth. That is a Flambeau Guard. We haven't normal summoned for the turn, so I guess we're making our rank 8. I mean, yeah, we're pushing damage, but we just... Well, this can't stay. We just gave our opponent 3 cards. We get it on Berserker. Okay. So this is fine against... Shaddolls? Maybe? I'm not sure what niche this is filling exactly, but I don't think it was worth it giving X6 a 3 draws. Especially Maxi when they're pretty far behind. Like, they only had creation to their name, you just blew them out. You have access to your engine, but you just banished a couple of your dragons just for this guy. We do have a back row. So MP did reveal the Red Rain last duel, even though we didn't use it. And these are, the prerequisites are met right now. We do control level 8 Synchro, so we can banish the board. So if that was a reason to play into Maxi, even though I don't know why you didn't just do it with the Blaster the first time and then just summon the Flambeau Guard and then just make the Berserker normally. If that is the reason why we did this, it's probably a game-winning game state, though we could have just done that next turn. We'll have to see. It's a really powerful card, though. It is a board nuking banish, so we will get a search off of that if it is. Ooh, but the Sinister Shadow Games. It's really good. It doesn't have to be a dragon. Correct. Now, sending the Windy here, it's still pretty good, because I honestly don't know what you send here. I guess if you're on every doll, it has to be a dragon. You just play it safe, kill the Red Rain. And it was a droplet, so Wait, you're telling me that you were willing to let your opponent draw 3 cards to set a droplet? Are you kidding me? I guess we're buffing a red rain, but that's not even that good. You just let him draw 3 cards and put him back into the game. Oh well. So, notably, our Patronus is in the graveyard. This probably will come up because we just added the Genny. We'll see. Alright, we have Fuel for Days because our opponent just let us draw 3 cards. Picked up the Heine. Going for a Neos Fusion. This is a pretty solid clapback, especially with the Shemeta. Why are we proceeding straight to the battle phase? Why is Neos attacking this guy? Honest? Chalice. Chalice? Target Neos? That negates the attack gain. Putting it at 29. I don't think they... Yeah. X6, what are you doing? Oh no. Well, if we did have the chalice at the very least, we should have like set it. Cause this play, your opponent's basically top decking. They get 1 Dragon Ruler and they're gonna discard this for turn. They're gonna discard their hand for turn. Like there's no other option. Shemeta here banishes herself to pick up By Street. We set the By Street, but only during the end phase. It does give us a pop, but we can keep the Neos up because he will have 2600 attack instead of negating himself. To crash into the title, we can either keep it or not. I believe because the Draco Berserker will go Unga mode, we don't want to take too much damage because we are on 3600, and we will have the By Street up at end phase. We just crash the Neos and let it fall off and die. That way, whatever the top deck is, the double punch won't be lethal into the Heine, and we will still be able to Trident pop on the clapback, because this can attack first, or the other one can attack first. It doesn't really matter. The other one gets popped, and we still don't die to the damage. Adding a Rumor here still seems pretty solid as a way to remedy our misplay. What? Why? Why are we doing that? What benefit is there to this card? Okay. Are we planning to summon the Aruru during Enby's turn? We don't have another summon to go with, unless we're playing Buddy Force. And we're not sending the By Street either. What is this? Witchcrafter Unveiling. Special summon a Witchcrafter from your hand, and if you do, your opponent cannot activate. I mean, it's definitely interesting, but it's in the grave. Do you have a way to add it back to the hand? Because if we can, and we can set it this turn, then we'll be able to Heine Vanish without worrying about the Draco Berserker, but I don't think that's what's happening here. So not only did we not get the By Street or the Aruru, but why are we activating Heine? XX, what are you doing? Oh man. Well, that was potentially a really, really bad throw. But, you know, Impy's still pretty out of resources here. Only 2 dragons to his name. He did add the title back to him by its own effect, but pitch title for cost. What are you picking up? Another ruler. You don't have too many dragons to work with unless this is a dragon in hand. And let's just refuel. Yeah, you can definitely see the punish coming out from MP. X6 not playing that last turn too well. Going for a Synchro 8 here. Honestly, given the game state, you could do anything, but this Neos has already burned his protection. He's only 2600. Does not just summoning... Am I missing something? Does not just banishing this, summoning the title, searching with the Redox, I don't know, just summon Tracer, attack, 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 that's game. Maybe he's playing around the possibility of the Predaplant hand trap that we saw last time. But oof, the Crimson Blader. It's a good counter to playing around back row. We might set into an Aruru, but we're not gonna set back row apparently. I guess if we have a Veiler, it gives insurance against that. What else? We've already banished the Heine, so there's no way that comes back. Possibility of a second Neos coming down is pretty high. And we've just locked them out of all fusions, so if they have fusion methods in their hand, that's breaking this turn. So honestly, not the worst. But here we're searching the correct monster. Madame Bear. Or, I'm sorry. I guess we're just deck thinning, because we can't fusion summon this turn. Well, I mean, using the cards that we know in hand, the Pottery was only able to release sets, so I don't know, between just setting that monster and deck thinning by one and adding basically a fusion spell to hand, it's probably better, assuming we can get through this Crimson Blader. We do have the Aruru in hand now, so we will be able to at least clear it, but MP is swimming in dragons again, and because he drew for turn, he has a free Ravine. Let's see what he does. Redux. Same title. Okay, so that is almost 2 of every dragon ruler besides the Tempest. MP's burning through his grind grain. So if X6 can turn this around, MP will definitely be in a really rough spot. But I don't know. It's gonna come down to how this Aruru is used, but honestly might not matter. Ooh, and it most likely won't because of this Croc. Alright, take a free draw. Gonna hand up ourselves for 2 here, but that shouldn't matter because we have enough attacks and we have the spell speed to pop. Alright, no concede means that we probably have a way out of this mess. Gonna bounce the Blader. Alright, telegraphing that we are gonna be able to fusion summon next turn. And implying that there is a next turn. So Croc. Good heads up play by MP. Popping the Aruru. And swinging for good. Okay. So... was that correct to play into that? Because again, our entire graveyard's banished out. Not really in too good of a position though. Like, Heine is the only one left and that one's banished. We've already banished our little ones. So the Witchcraft Engine's basically dead at this stage. So the Dragon Rollers, they're basically dead as well. They need like a burial from a different dimension. Yeah, honestly, this game could go either way. Alright. Here we go. Moment of truth. We did have the exact out to the Croc lethal line. Lots of viewing of the extra deck. So bouncing the Crimson Blader looks like, yeah, we are going to be using that invocation. Sending an Earth. An Aerial, that's interesting. Definitely interesting. Shekinaga. It's really good, but because we are on some dragons, we will have to be banishing out some dragons here. And the ravine still being alive does make this a bit of an issue. Need a way to clear this Croc without dying as well, because on the following turn the Blaster will most likely be able to resummon itself. Like assuming this this here Magna is banished and this here Redox is banished. Ravine just sends. You know, honestly, I'd put them on Better Habit, right? Because banish out the graveyard. This Blaster has to summon itself back with our discard for turn. Or I guess we discard the Blaster. Doesn't really matter. Discard either one. That's only 2 dragons, including the Blaster. So we clear the Croc out. Uh-oh. Does he have another? Oh. Oh yeah, we're considering the Redox banish search. That is definitely a possibility. Yeah, he's gonna add Guru here in this scenario. What's the possibility? Maybe a dead Reactant? Yeah, dead Reactant. Alright, well. What's this? Add a card from grave to hand. We don't control any spellcasters. Proceeding to the battle. And that Croc... Oh! That Croc is live now. Because of the aerial. Oh no. So... So our best bet was to just not use the aerial, attack the Croc. No, definitely use the aerial. Use the aerial. Banish the Draco Berserker, banish the Magna Rocket. He has to keep the Redox because we have to kill the Croc. We just have to deal with the fact that Blaster is going to be able to resummon himself next turn. Honestly, if he's on Jet Synchron though, like... Do we have a link? We don't have a link, so... Yeah, we probably could have survived. Even if we just went wide with some way to make 2 Dragon Rulers. Attacking this here would just crash with the other one and destroy it, giving us our Predaplan engine. We'll be back in it. Yeah, I don't know. Back-to-back misplays. And mistaking the fusion for being a spellcaster. Yeah. It's an unfortunate way to go out here. Top deck MST. It's a bit excessive. But yeah, this was definitely a grindier and back and forth finals, especially during the Dama season. Glad to see matches of this caliber still existing in Trinity. It's not exactly the power level that I would expect, because there were some lines that could have led to this being a shorter game, but it's entertaining all the same. Congrats X6 for their second place finish in a row. And congrats to MP for his first his first YTC one.